It's the crack of dawn and Herman's rolling out with all the girls loading up into a van headed back to the airport. But yo, the vibe takes a dark turn when Griselda gets back to the motel. She walks in to find her husband's brother, Fernando, and his right-hand man, Dario, waiting for her like some vultures. Fernando's out for blood, wanting his revenge for his brother's murder. He tells Griselda's boys about Griselda off in Alberto, which is why they had to dip out to Miami in the first place. Next thing you know, Fernando's dragging Griselda to her own room, ready to take her out. But before he can choke the life out of her, her son Uber steps up, pointing a piece at Fernando, ready to put him down for good. But Dario swoops in, stopping Uber just in time. Fernando's pissed, ordering Dario to ice Uber, but my man Dario ain't vibing with none of that. Instead, he turns the tables, taking out Fernando and saving both Griselda and her kid. And now it looks like Griselda's about to offer Dario a spot in her crew, turning him from enemy to ally in the blink of an eye. And that's the ep. Dario smartly takes his talents to South Beach.
I'm glad that Dario, because his rationale is completely legitimate. Why didn't you do it? It's like, I've never killed a kid before. I hadn't planned on killing a kid today. It's like, thanks, Dario. Thanks for not shooting that teenager in the back of the head.
Right.
Appreciate that.
Because that would have sucked. What's interesting is I read an article about the actor who plays Dario, Alberto Guerra. I read an article of him talking about this scene specifically, and he was talking about how challenging it was to act because, he kind of relates to that kind of pure-heartedness of not being able to, like, he's never been put in a position on any show where he had to hold a gun, real or fake, to a kid's head, and it, like,
fucked with him.
And it was a really cool interview, actually. Like, I recommend looking it up. I'll put the link on the screen.
Do it.
But he's talking about how there were some scenes where they kind of kept him and Sophia apart for like the whole day for them to come back and have an argument on set, like via the script. But it kind of gives you a real good idea of like what kind of person he is, what kind of actor he is, because he really does pull this off. Like, it does seem like he comes by and like puts the gun to Uber's head in order to stop this kid from killing this dude.
Mm-hmm.
Because like Uber has the gun, and the whole time I'm like, shoot him!
Shoot that motherfucker!
Shoot him! He's about to kill your mom.
It's such a crazy. You have to that's her uncle. It's Uncle Fernando.
Nope. Yeah, you're right.
Look how happy all the boys are in this picture.
Right.
Like, this is good news to them. Mom, Uncle Fernando's here. Look. Like, they have no idea the actual circumstances. Ooh. Every single one of the kids in this picture has a smile on their face.
They all have a relationship with this guy.
Yeah, he's family.
They like him more than they like Alberto.
He's the funkle.
Yeah. That's crazy. I didn't think about it in terms of their relationship with him and why that would make it hard for Uber to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
Even though that's your mom, that's still like family to you.
This is you just found out like 30 seconds ago the real reason you guys are in Miami, that your stepdad has been murdered by your mom. Like, you just found that out. You don't have time to grieve or be upset about it because now your uncle is strangling your mom to death in the other room. And we can like hear it.
Yeah. And now you come in, pull this kid off, and he's like, all right, I want you to shoot the kid? Bro, this wasn't on the list.
Yeah.
I actually have a note in here. I have the quote from Alberto Guerra. He was interviewed by Men's Health magazine, so that's going to be the publication by Keith Nelson. He asked Alberto Guerra, why do you think that Dario didn't kill Uber? He said, there are times in life where you just don't know. What happens when you don't know is you improvise in the moment. Dario improvised in the moment. He was supposed to kill this kid and he didn't want to. When you think about a hitman, if he's not going to do what the boss says at the moment, you better kill your boss because otherwise you're dead.
Yeah. And that's really what it is. He can't be like, no, Fernando, I'm not going to kill this kid. Because then Fernando's going to kill Griselda and then
kill you.
Yeah.
Eventually. Maybe not in the moment, but
eventually. Like, that was it. You just proved that you can't be trusted.
Damn. So it was like, all right, he's sitting there. He's like, okay, so I'm not going to kill him. So I got to kill you. And it was just like a split-second decision. He improvised. It's funny because, like, after this, Dario and Griselda start a quasi-romantic relationship. It's kind of one-sided, probably up until
power dynamic.
Yeah. you kind of seem like Dario is more in love than Griselda is. But Dario has an appearance in this show before this episode. He's on the couch when Griselda walks in order to do that favor for Alberto. And so like Dario watches her come in, kind of look around the room, look at Fernando's wife, I guess, and then walk upstairs. And you get the feeling that like Dario feels bad for Griselda.
He's like, dang, this is messed up.
Especially knowing that he winds up falling in love with her. There's probably some of that in his motivations too.
I agree.
Chucho, though, is officially relegated to background character or background bodyguard.
Good.
Because
it's where he belongs. And I'm not saying that to shade Chucho whatsoever. He's not. If I was Chucho, I'd be relieved. It's like, oh, thank God. Like,
this, they got a hard dude.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
I'm going to go back to my diner job, bro.
He didn't do that. You have enough money to, well, you got to still have some sort of job, but I mean, you know, be a bouncer at a club or something. That would be a good idea.
Something else.
And if you're working for other Colombians or Latinos of any sort, you can tell them, yeah, I was a cartel bodyguard for a bit. That qualifies me for your job. I hope I don't have to shoot anybody, but I don't think I will have to.
Yes. I can be a bouncer at this club because I used to be a cartel bodyguard. Easy.
Easy.
You're hired.
Yeah. You can tell anybody that. Put that on your resume for bodyguarding.